Hello, this is Suraj from Automation Experts. Now, let's see how to write a dynamic XPaths along with the context of test data. What do I mean that? Let me just show you. So sometimes you need to locate a web element based on the data. For example, now I have a web table on this page. Basically, the flow would be something like this. I submit a form, then an entry will be created on the web table. But consider a scenario where you cannot always predict where your entry is going to be. It may not be always on the top, so it could be completely unpredictable. So in that case, what would you do? That is where you go for dynamic XPath. But in this case, what my aim is to find. Suppose I want to click on the edit button of a particular row, but this is the test data I have used, this particular email. So I need to reach out this element by using the string, using this email string. So basically what is my aim is to click on the edit button by using the email that that is the part of the test data that I have just submitted with a form or something like that. So this is actually quite a common case. In a lot of cases we may need to do this, because you can't just have a common locator for this, especially you cannot predict where the web element is going to be. So here I have taken example of web table, but this may not be just the case for web tables. Might happen quite a lot of time, this particular scenario. So let me just show you how we can achieve this. So I'm just going to inspect it for now. Okay, so I'm going to make use of XPaths for this. Basically my aim is to find this edit button by using the email and make a function, generic function that takes email as an argument to do the edit action. So I'm just going to write some dynamic XPath here. I'm going to say /* using the text function. I'm just going to provide the email here. Now as you can see, this web element does not have any siblings, so we need to just go up by one level. So now in this level, as you can see, I have several divs. Basically all these divs correspond to each cell that come after this email cell. So basically I need to use following-sibling keyword, because I need to go forward from this on the same level. If I wanted to go backward, I need to use preceding-sibling. So I'm just going to say following-sibling and double colon, then I'm going to say div. Basically this gives me 5 matches corresponding to each cell on the same row, but I want this cell, the cell corresponding to action column. So this is actually on the 5th starting from here. I'm just going to index it by 5. So this, now I got the cell that I wanted, but still the edit button is inside the cell, so I just need to traverse inside the DOM tree. This is the first tag. I'm going to say / the tag name, then next comes the div, then inside the div I have the button. This actually is the locator for the edit button. So I'm just going to type button here. So by using this method, basically I have reached to the edit button by using the data on this column, that is email column. This is part of your test data. Usually you have this data on your hand. So this is now the next step is to make a generic method where basically I am going to make this email as a variable argument for my method that is probably inside a page object class. So I will make this email part as a variable. Then basically I am going to pass the variable after my test action is done. Then I will be able to find the edit button for that particular email. So I'm just going to copy this now. Let me just go back to my editor. Okay, I will create one method called click on edit, and I will have a string here. I'm going to say xpath is equal to this, and as you can see, this method takes one argument, that's email. Now just need to replace this part with the email variable argument, that is. Okay, now once I have done that, basically I just need to use driver dot find elements by dot xpath, then I provide the xpath, then dot click. So in my test method I can just call this method, let's say click on edit. Now here all I have to do is provide the data, that is the email. In this case I can provide any email on this table basically. Let me just copy one here. I'm just going to copy and I'm just going to paste it here. So basically this should work. This should click on the element, but as this is a sample web page and it has only option for me to double click and do a context click. So instead of clicking, I'm just going to highlight this. I have a function method for just highlighting a web element here. Also highlighting the web element also means that it proves that this is working. Okay, so I'm just going to rename this as highlight edit. Highlight edit button. I will just call it by the same name. Instead of clicking, I'm just going to pass this web element as an argument for a highlight method here that I have. This is just to prove that it's working or not. Now I'm just going to, okay, this takes two arguments. One is the driver instance itself. Okay, now if I run this, basically it should navigate this to this URL, wait for 3 seconds, then it should highlight the edit button that comes in the row that has this email. I'm just going to run this. Well, this might take some time. Basically this is the concept. If you want to go in a reverse way, suppose you want to move backward from last name column, then you will have to use preceding-sibling keyword inside your XPath. So if you want to move forward like this, then you can just use following-sibling. Okay, now this is going to launch the browser and maximize, and the page is still loading. Okay, now let's see the email that starts with what we have given here, Raj dot something, that particular row. Okay, as you can see, exactly the one that I have given and called with the argument, that email argument that I have passed. The edit button of that has been highlighted. That means our method is definitely working. So this is one of the things that comes often, that at least I have faced it often in while running some automation tests. Often you need some context for you to do some actions, like based on the data. This also verifies that your entry, the form submit that you have submitted with this test data, also has been has worked fine. So this is quite a common case while doing automation tests. Also, you might think this is a it probably looks like hard coded, but as long as you have to make the refactoring in only one place, it should be considered as good practices, so you don't have to worry about that. So if you like this video, hit the like button. Thanks for watching.